Alright guys, welcome back to another video tutorial about Git. In this video I'm going to show you how to configure your Git account. Now that you have Git up and running, the first thing we need to do is to set our username and email address in the Git's configuration variables. For this, Git has a special tool called gitconfig. gitconfig. And what this tool does is to let you set and visualize your configuration variables, which in turn allow you to control how your Git account runs. For example, if you're working in a team on a Git project, such as a website, you'll be making all sorts of changes to the same project. And these configuration variables allow you to identify yourself as an author of a project change. And of course, each member needs his own account. So let's run this command and see what happens. As you can see, the command outputs a list of options that can be used in conjunction with gitconfig. This -- global is one of the most used commands out there because it allows you to set your credentials for each repository in the system. So let's do that. Git config -- global user.name, and now type in my name. This allows me to set the name to Eduard. Okay, and the same command applies to the email address. So email eduard@example.com. Right. These details are very important because every commit uses them. And again, you need to do this only once if you pass the -- global options, because Git will use that information for each operation you do on the system. This global configuration resides in your home directory and is called .gitconfig. So you can see that by cutting the command like this. And as you can see, the file holds the user variables, in this case name and email, that I just provided via the gitconfig -- global command, right? One easier way to modify this file is to use a text editor. In this case, let's say I will use vim or vi. Git config. Right, so now it simply lists the file and I can simply do whatever modification I like here. If I want to change anything, maybe the email address, or add another setting, I can simply do that via editing this this file. Right. So setting your variables as global is the most common use, as it establishes global configuration options for a particular user. And what else? By the way, if you're unaware what the cut command does, let me tell you that it can be used under Unix operating systems to create and display the contents of text files on screen, to concatenate files, and even copy text files. So when I use it like this, cut gitconfig, basically I told it to display the contents of the gitconfig file. Now, if you want to update or override this with a different name or email address, you can either do it via the text editor or via the same bunch of commands I just did here, but with a different name or email address. If you want to do any local configuration, let's say for a single repository, you can dismiss the global parameter in the command and run it like this: git config user.name and then your name here. But for this you need to have a repository created first, and we haven't gone through that yet, but I will definitely show you in the next video how to do that. Right, if you do like this, your local configuration will reside in your local Git repository, which you'll find in .git/config, or you can run a cat command in the same way and you achieve the same thing. Moreover, if you want to recheck your settings to make sure everything is correct and good to go, you can use the gitconfig -- list. So let me go ahead and erase this and write -- list. As you can see, it shows all the settings I currently have here. User.name equals Eduard, user.email equals Eduard@example.com. So I showed you how to list all your settings, but if you like to list an individual setting, you can do this: git config user.name, and simply lists my name. If I change this to email, it should list my email, and it does. Right. If you ever need help understanding something while using Git, there's a way you can do this. Just type in git help, and this command should display a help menu. From here you can select any topic of interest in conjunction with the help command. Let's run it. As you can see, it displays all sorts of things about starting a working area, working on current changes, examining the history and state, and so on. Suppose we want to use log, right? Let's go ahead and do that. Git help log. And there you go. It gives us more information about how to commit logs, what the command does, what other options we can use in conjunction with it, and so on. Let's go back. Moreover, if you need help about Git, you can also simply type in git help git, and as you can see on my Mac, on my Git for Mac, someone has definitely a sense of humor. Let's go back. Again, if you need help, just type in git help, and if you want to be more specific and find help about the topic, simply use git help with topic name and the name of the topic. Right. So by now you should have a working version of Git on your system that's set up with your personal credentials, and I think it's now time to learn some Git basics, and in the next video we'll be starting our first project. So please stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.